Hey guys, what's up? I just got a new paddleboard. My old paddleboard is over there and it's got several holes in it. I've patched it several times. My old paddleboard was like a Hyrdoforce, like a Wal-Mart paddleboard. It's been fine. It's worked pretty good. I've enjoyed paddleboarding on it. But the holes are kind of a problem when you're out there and you hear air leaking out. I went like an hour and a half and I didn't sink, but it was pretty low at the end. I bought this Tahe. It's called a 12 foot 6-inch Breeze. This is the Breeze wing. And so this one is a few inches skinnier, 30 inches. I think that one's 33, so it's skinnier and it's longer. And I'm hoping that it's faster because I want to go fast. I'm tired of kind of going slow. But really, paddleboarding is all about just vibing, right? And look at her, like she's just living a dream. Check that out. I'm going to be living the dream pretty soon in a minute. My wife's a kayak enthusiast, as you know. She loves to kayak. She's going to go. And so I'm getting ready to get this thing out and take it to the lake. Hopefully have a good time and not fall off. So I picked this particular model because people on Reddit said it was good. And I tend to trust people on Reddit, And so also, it was half price. It's on a 50% off sale right now. This paddleboard is normally $400, and I got it for, or if normally $800, I got it for $400. Now, I am really surprised I spent that much on a paddleboard, but thinking about it, this is something that we do multiple times a week, and I've patched the old one 20 times, so I think it's time for a new one, and I wanted something a little bit different. Now, let's check it out. In the box, you get your pump. You get your paddle, this case is pretty cool. Look at this. This case it comes in is actually usable. I think this might be usable. Most of these time these things come with there's no way you're going to get it back in the bag or case it comes in, but this one's pretty big, kind of like a giant suitcase. I think that's the patch kit. It does come with a repair kit. Hopefully won't need that. Ooh, what's this? Yeah, I don't use these. I don't use the coil. I think those would probably be important if you're into waves, but at Rend Lake, it's not the ocean, so I don't think I need this thing. I've never used the leash, like a surfboard leash thing. All right, so looks like I just need to get it out of the plastic, make sure my electric pump fits it, and then we can get ready to go. Well, one of the cool features of this board that I didn't know is that it has a GoPro mount right there on the front of it, right up there. That's cool. The board is narrow enough. My old board, you couldn't do this, but you can straddle it. It's narrow enough that you can sit on it. And if I had a kayak paddle, I think I could sit here and straddle it and kayak, and that'd be kind of cool. I mean, it's probably pretty slow to keep your feet in the water, but so I can definitely tell it's narrower. It's like 3 or 4 inches narrower than the old one. That's not a real big problem. It's a little more, tricky getting on and off, getting up and down. But for the most part, it's not really that big of a deal. Pretty easy, pretty stable, and so the audio got pretty bad with wind noise. I'm just going to finish up my thoughts here on the board, tell you how it went, what I think about it. So this is a longer and skinnier board. It should be faster. I checked the speed on Strava, and I pretty much had the same speed as I always do, but there's a caveat to that, and it's a pretty big deal, I think. I generally do a mix of standing and setting paddleboard, and I've been for a long time now just using my kayak paddle, and I set and kayak, style paddle this board or any board. I think it's quite a bit faster than standing and doing it this way. At least it is for me. I'm much faster. I think anybody really, if you can set on a paddle board and use a kayak paddle, you always almost have a paddle in the water. It's just a lot faster. This is, in a lot of ways, more fun. I like standing. You get to see things. You get to see a lot better. You get to just kind of like, I don't know, it's just a much different experience. But I like being able to switch back and forth to setting and standing. In this particular kayak trip, I did nothing but stand. I never sat down because with this long kayak paddle, it's pretty much, or this long paddleboard paddle, it's almost impossible to, set and use it. You can kind of sort of do it canoe style, but it's too long for that. So I did the same speed as I always do standing, and I know that standing is slower. So I'm going to test it with a kayak paddle and just see how it goes. But really, when I go paddleboarding, I'm not out there trying to watch my average speed. I'll usually go for a while and I'll stop, float around, look at stuff, go for a while, stop, float around, look at stuff. So I don't know how important speed is. One thing I did really notice, I'm guaranteed, I'm positive, glide was so much better. So what I mean is you could paddle a few times, stop paddling, and it just kind of floated longer along the water. Now, it wasn't going to just keep floating forever. It wasn't like night and day, but I could notice a difference. Another thing I noticed was maneuverability. The longer board, a little bit slower to turn. Not a huge difference, but a little bit slower to turn. So a little bit of a strike against it, but not much. The narrower, board, I never fell off of it. I never even thought I was going to fall off of it. It's, a few inches narrower, not that big of a deal. I think anybody who could paddleboard on like a 33, 34-inch board is not going to have any trouble with a 30-inch board. It takes like 5 minutes to get used to. $200 more for this kit compared to the one I had bought. I don't know if it's actually $200 better. An extra 1.5 feet of paddleboard is nice. It still didn't feel like crazy firm. I had 13 pounds of air in it. Next time I'll probably try 15, but I was just in a hurry to get going. And my electric pump, once it gets up past 11 or 12, it starts to seems like it takes forever to get all the way up to 15. It has several features, though, that I thought were big improvements over the old paddleboard. Like, for instance, the valve has got like a little push button thing. You click it down, and you don't, like the old one I had, you had to turn the valve to go from fill to unfill. This one, you just click once. It's in fill mode. Click again. It's in empty mode. The paddle is definitely higher quality than the paddle that came with the old Wal-Mart Hyrdoforce Board, but this paddle is also kind of heavy. So I may at some point be upgrading paddleboard paddles since I'll probably be spending more time standing on this one. And one other thing I noticed with the pointed, sharper nose is that handling waves, I wasn't in really choppy water hardly ever, but there was some places where I ran into some boat remnants of boat waves. And I did feel like it just kind of cut through them a lot better than it had before. So ultimately, probably worth an extra $200 if you're into paddleboarding. And I'm hoping it lasts a lot better and longer than the old one. I mean, it's probably made a little better. And we'll hope it does.